What's up everybody, it's Metamyther. Make that Detective Metamyther on the case. This video is a response to the ultimate kick drum comparison that I made a little while ago. Several of the kick drums I demoed came out distorted, and I wasn't exactly sure why. So this video walks you through my detective work of figuring out what happened. Our main suspect is the Zoom L6 mixer, which I often use when making my videos. This is an amazing, inexpensive piece of gear that records every stem separately to 32-bit floating point audio. Zoom themselves wrote an article that I'll link in the description that talks about this technology and how it's a boon to recording. The L6 features dual A to D converters on the first two channels that can handle modular signals. However, all of the tracks record to 32-bit, which the article implies would protect each audio stem regardless when transferring to the DAW. Of course, I understand the importance of gain staging, but the L6 doesn't have input gains like most traditional mixers. But again, the floating point resolution led me to believe that I'd be fine. As the article states, with 32-bit float, you'll never need to set gain or adjust levels on the fly. You can just set up your mics and hit record. This didn't work in practice. After I put out the second kick drum video, I learned some of the kicks were distorted. One of them was the Shakmat Battering Ram, which I'm going to use today to retrace my steps. The Zoom is not the only way I get audio into my DAW. I also use the Expert Sleeper's ES8, so we'll use that as our scientific control group. Next, I'm going to record into the Zoom 3 different ways. The first is to send Battering Ram directly into channel 1, which I'm guessing won't be clipped as it has the dual A to D converters. The second is to send an attenuated Battering Ram signal into channel 3. The third is again into channel 3, but this time not attenuated. In all instances, I'm using the maximum volume out of the battering ram, which can be set on the module. I'm also using the Entumbra A10-8, which I use as an 8-channel attenuator that also collects all of the channels in one location before heading to the Zoom, which simplifies my workflow. This module works well enough, but there is noise that's introduced as you go further down the module as the channels normal into each other, so it's far from a perfect solution. By the way, if you have one of these modules, make sure you have the switches flipped up to make the channels unipolar, to make the knobs function more as traditional volume faders. Okay, along with the ES8 routing, these 4 methods should give us some definitive evidence and help us crack the case. Let's take a look at the results. We'll start with the ES8, which is our control group. No real distortion there, as expected. Here is the battering ram going into Zoom L6 channel 1. This is one of the 2 channels that has the dual A to D converters. No distortion. Moving along. This is the battering ram going into channel 3 attenuated. Still sounds good. And then finally the unattenuated one. Check this out. So there's definitely some distortion going on there. So as you can see and hear, the 4th channel, which is the unattenuated audio going straight into the Zoom, is distorted. However, Zoom's article told me that recording in 32-bit float would save my information. So what's going on? Check out this diagram. It shows the typical voltage range several common audio sources live within. This uses a unit of measurement called peak to peak, which describes the total voltage fluctuation between the highest and lowest points of a waveform. For microphones and instrument level, you're typically in a range of 1 volt peak to peak. For professional line level, you're around 3.5 volts peak to peak. But modular levels are typically 10 volts peak to peak, and depending on the module can be as hot as 24 volts peak to peak. As you can see, that's a huge range for our audio sources. For the Zoom L6, going by the specifications in the manual for channels 3 through 10, the maximum input level is +9 dBu. Using this website to convert to volts peak to peak, I'm able to show that the Zoom mixer's maximum input level is only 6.17 volts, which for the 10 volts that is typical for modular is just not enough. The input is actually clipping at the analog level. I'll link to this website in the video's description. Since I published the ultimate kick drum comparison videos, Zoom has released the next version of the mixer, called the L6 Max, which gives you more channels, but also provides really handy -20 dB padding on the channels that don't have the dual A to D converters, making it much more agreeable for modular systems. I definitely advocate for getting the L6 Max, as it's not that much bigger, but you get more channels, a nice screen with your recording, and of course the attenuation. The Zoom L6 is really an amazing mixer. The sound quality is great, and you can't beat 32-bit stems of all of your tracks, especially for the price. I hope this video helps clear up some of the confusion around the Zoom L6 and helps you get better results out of it. If you want to see more gear videos like this, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Check out the description for affiliate links. Your support helps keep this channel going and is truly appreciated.